என் ஃபேஸ் எனக்கு தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது எனக்கு. ஆமா. ம். ஓகே. இதுல ஃபேஸ் என்ன தெரியல. நான் குடுத்துட்டேன். ஓகேன்னு குடுத்துட்டேன் நானு. ஆல்ரெடி நான் வீடியோ கேப்சர் டிவைஸ்னு ஒண்ணு வச்சிருக்கேன். அத ரிமூவ் பண்ணி விட்டுமா அப்ப? டெலீட் பண்ணிட்டேன். கேமரா தான் ஒர்க் ஆகுது. டெலீட் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஆமா. ஆ ஓகே. So, hi to all. Um, so, in these quarantine days, let's learn a new concept. And ourselves, and myself, be Priyanka, representing Avanico Technologies, is going to share my views about the pick and pack. And let's go through this podcast. So, generally, what is the word pick and pack refers? So, generally, pick and pack just says about the items just going to be picked or to be packed, and that's what it's going to say. So, let us go see in SAP B1. So, how does a pick and pack represent in the B1? And this is also simple concept as I said previously, and in B1 also it is going to be made it very easier. So, in B1, the pick and pack is basically maintained over three scenarios like sales orders, production orders, and inventory transfer request. So, let us see each of these scenarios in brief. So, for sample, I have just put a sales order, which you are seeing right now, and these are the two items what I took for the sample items, and I have mentioned all the details, the price and the tax code and all those things. So for this item I have just keep the delivery date as April 10, so we have this much items. So I can't able to know whether these items are available in my warehouse or not. So what I have to do, it's a very simple thing. I just want to check out with my warehouse person, and I'm going to create for them. So so to check out with my warehouse person, I can either send them as alert, or I can just create a pick list which can be sent it in a PDF form to him. I can't able to run over the persons directly and want to say that whether I have to check it or not. So that is what we are going to do. And for now, I'll just show a demo. Uh, okay, and this is what This then this pick pack and production manager selection criteria window helps to create the pick list wizard. So we can have a selection criteria name. As I said, we can just say the selection criteria on what basis we are going to create it, and we can choose a status as either open, released, or pick, or we can also group. And there are options such as group, by either you have to group like a document or thing. And as I said, these three scenarios are being mentioned over here. So first, I showed you the sample orders, sample sales order, right? So let us go through that itself. So posting date, I'm just picking the date as today date, and I'm just choosing the warehouse. So I'm just checking whether in any of one of the warehouse will my stock will be available or not. I don't know in which warehouse will the stock will be available. So I'm just choosing all the warehouses, and I can also even sort based on the delivery date or due date and the customer code, the document number or warehouse or priority. You can also give it priority. So these are the features available in this pick pack and production manager. And just click by clicking on OK, the documents occurs. So these are the open documents which are readily available to be the pick. And we can also see the transaction type will be given as order, and you'll be having about what items to be sent to the delivery. So with that, in which warehouse it will be there, and with the quantities what I mentioned in the sales order, whether it is available or not will also be mentioned over here, and available to release will also be given. so that I can able to fulfill my customer percentage will also be known through this itself. So I'm just choosing these two items which I mentioned in the sales order, and I'm just going to give the option release to pick list. So then this pick list details, I'm going to have the details of what is the basic details, like how much pick number, the user, who is the user to be, and the pick date where to be. I can even change the pick date and the user or whatever thing. I'm just clicking upon add, or even I can give for remarks. It is an urgent delivery, something like that. I can give for that. I can give it, and I'm just clicking add. So the pick list has been created. So let us check in these released. So I have choose the opened orders which is to be picked, and I just moved it into the released order. So if I choose this now totally, so my pick list will be readily created. My whole quantities will be shipped from the warehouse. So the warehouse person will be shipping to me. So I can just create a delivery invoice alone, and I don't want to think about how much stock is going on. What I can just choose. For this view, there's also another feature in V1 as a detail or a summary. So and continue over that. So for this pick number, how much I'm getting, whether I bought as a remarks, how much quantities to be released, whether I've updated or not, and I'm just going to see that, or in the summary, or in detail, you can just have it as a simple view. So I'm just again okay. This is the pick list details. What is to be shown. So how the basically the pick list will be look like. So this is what the pick list will. Either you can just edit from here and you can also provide it to the delivery invoice for the sales orders, or you can just choose about thing. So 20 quantities have been ordered. The release are also been released. So how much you can pick, whether you have to send like for example, like I have mentioned 20 over here. I can also choose even 10 or 5 quantities which I can. So it's my own wish that I can able to. So in order to satisfy your customer, whether you have to release the you have to release the whole orders or just a small orders, that's your wish, and we can able to do that also here. So I'm just choosing about the 20 itself. So I'm updating. So after updating, you can just check that the whole items can be picked. So the previously it will be as partially picked. The status will be over here. And okay, the pick list have been means the pick list when the status is changed to picked, it means that the whole items have been shipped. So you are just going to deliver to your customer. So I can create manual delivery, automatic delivery with manual invoice. These will be used for the sales order screens. And other three options I will later describe you that. And I'm just for now I'm choosing a manual delivery option. So if I need some any other editing option, I can just choose a manual delivery. So in manual delivery, I can just describe. You can see all the options through that. How much price, how much quantity I'm going to deliver to my customer, and all those things with the price amount and all those things it's going to happen. And I'm just adding over that. So once operation completed successfully, the pick ticket is closed and the whole sale order is closed, and you can proceed to the invoice. The delivery will be acting as an invoice in which the items have been given to the customer, so that you will be receiving the invoices against that. And this is what for the sales order scenario. Even you can also change, okay, and you can also change the quantity. So let me show that also. And okay, so these are again other open quantities, right? So if you see that these orders, I'm not having the quantities. It will also show whether you have the quantities or not, so that it will be very easy for us to maintain or to know about our inventory also. So how much our quantities are available, whether we have to buy from our vendors to satisfy our customers, or like that we can know it. And okay, so these are the scenario what I mentioned for the sales orders. So now just look, we will look over the so, we'll just look over the inventory transfer request. So inventory transfer request. So basically, inventory transfer request will be working over a group of chain of customers where we'll be having like some company really about 40 outlets or something like 40 outlet or retail stores, or you'll be having a warehouse from some other place and you need it to a store. And for that scenarios, this inventory transfer request will be perfectly working for you. And the same like I said before, you can just choose over the inventory transfer request number. If you know, we can just choose that. or the posting date, delivery date, so business against business partner, something like that. So I can whether able to fulfill that whole percentage and according to the item base, or so these are the options available in the D1, which will helps you to easily choose the customer, easily choose the transfer request bills and also transfer also. So I'm just choosing the posting date as today is itself. So I have sample posting date, inventory transfer request is also. So let's see through that itself. And same the warehouse you can give. So these are the previous open list. So, so yes. So as I said, the same. For inventory transfer request, the transaction type will be of transfer, and that will be mentioned over here. And you am just choosing for the items which I've already put it over here, and I'm just going to click on release to pick list, and that's all. So the as usual we saw, right, the pick details and pick date, user picker and all those things will be coming. So I'm just clicking add, the pick list will be created. So how the pick list for this it will be look like. So these. So once it is the opened inventory transfer request will be on creating upon to the pick list, the status would be given as released. So I want 10 quantities to be released, but I can receive the whole 10 quantities. But if something damage over there, means whether 5 pieces are perfect and other 5 pieces are not perfect, so I can even just put 5 and I can just simply update it, which will be noted as partially picked. So I can wait for another 5 for the next. I can also even transfer according to that. So I'm just again updating with that. So I'm just picked. So upon updating, you can see the status as picked. The whole quantity which I released for the picking, it has been picked. So now I can create an inventory transfer so that I can know that from, so this is of the branch. So in this, I'm just returning to another warehouse. So where is the location, how much quantities that will cost. So from warehouse and to warehouse, where I'm just transferring my whole inventory things, will also be noted over here. And when you just click on add, this it's a very simple thing, right? So we can do that very easily for maintaining our inventory. And for this, our company, Avanic Technologies, have developed many alerts like voice alert, telegram alert, and WhatsApp alert, and more, etc. And we have did this for our customer convenience, and even you can also subscribe more ideas if you want. And this is what we have did for the pick and pack. And so generally picklist what I've shown would be acting like a simple things that these much items are request I needed for the items I record from the warehouse. So I can't even go to the warehouse or check whether these items are physically available or not. Simply I can send it to my warehouse person and ask him to check, so that will be very easy work, right? It will reduce our time, and you can also even choose a bunch of documents. You can even choose sales order, inventory transfer request at the same time, so that will be very easy convenient things. So these it will be listing like how much sales orders or open orders, so that you can just choose. But they are not transferred at earlier. Now you are having the things, you can also transfer that too. So I'm just choosing the sales order. Okay. So just click on OK. We'll be having both the list. So which are the for which items, which orders and inventory transfer requests you do have the items, you can just simply click over it and you can just create a pick list which reduce maximize of time, or you can also specifically generate over it. Okay, let me show another one thing. So these are the previous orders. So this error will also occur if you don't have the dates between that. You can just simply update it over it. So let me show one sample order which I'll put directly itself. So that you guys will have a clarity over it. So I'm just ordering. So I have created a sales order right now. So I can just choose both. So what are the orders I have placed, and I'm just choosing over it. So for each item, it will be creating as a single line. That will be very easier and convenient. And I'm just referring to see that these items are not available. So I can just change it. So just choosing the inventory transfer request. So that was a sample sales orders which I have put. Even I can just create a sample delivery invoice, and this is what I'm just going to do. So I'm just simply creating the pick list. I can even just group it. You can also use a split pick list orders for. You can also use split pick list, which will make you the work very simple. So let me see what how the pick list have also been occurred for this. If I if there's also option called pick call. So you don't if you're having the whole items and you just don't want to give the pick, you can also give a pick call. The release items will be moved on to the pick. You can simply say update, the pick list will be created. And this is one thing. So you can create, as I said, inventory transfer is going to get created. So for production orders, how it's going to work? It's I'll just simply say the words. For production orders, there's an you'll be just creating you'll be just creating like a POM. So where that for product producing one item, you will have the other components. So by choosing the components, you're just going to make the production. So for production orders, you just created production order. So you're going to produce a new thing. So but for that you don't know whether the items are available or not. So you're just sending to the warehouse person the pick list about these items are required for the production. So he's going to give the issue for production. So he just chooses items available item and he's going to send it to for the production unit. So that will be created as a production issue for production, and you can just proceed with the receipt from production, and you can complete your production orders. So this is what the pick and pack is being maintained over the SAP P1. Uh, Thanks for watching this. Spend your time for a learning concept, for new learning concepts in this quarantine days. Please do share, subscribe, and click the bell icon for the notifications. for learn new concepts in these quarantine days, and we are going to provide new learning concepts on a daily basis. So please do